Hello, my name is Noah Kinder, and I'm a part of the Central Leadership Council. This is a presentation that goes along with our leadership videos, and this is over motivating yourself and others. Now, what is motivation? Motivation is the driving force behind everything that we do. Although some days we may lack motivation, this presentation shows a few ways to minimize the number of our unmotivated days. Why is it important? Well, motivation is important for a variety of things. These could be it helps you stay productive, prevents procrastination, increases personal and group satisfaction, builds healthy habits and breaks bad habits, and again, I reiterate the fact that it is the driving factor on why we do what we do. Now, I'm going to talk about my favorite types of motivation that I've dubbed Noah's favorite types of motivation. There are plenty of ways to stay motivated, and I have provided a couple links towards those ways, but these are the 5 things that I'm going to talk about in this presentation. The first thing is getting to know your peers, setting goals, tracking your progress, being a role model, and celebrating your small victories. Now, to start off with getting to know your peers. An important thing to remember when doing so is just to try and learn people's names. Another thing is to actively listen to your coworkers during conversations. This means making eye contact, nodding your head, asking questions, and stuff like that. Another way to get to know your peers is to show that you are a safe space and create a comforting environment. Also, be vocal and encouraging of other people's goals, not just yours. All of these together, they help people feel more valued and confident in their abilities to complete tasks. It will boost their external motivation, which in return may increase their internal motivation. Setting goals is the next thing. SMART goals is one way of being able to set a goal. Now, what is a SMART goal, you may ask? The SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic goals that are met in a certain time frame. This type of goal is a great one to start with until you get used to goal writing. I provided a link here for more information on this goal, but it's pretty simple. Another way to set goals is to start off with just small ones. Then you move to larger goals. A lot of times we get discouraged if we can't meet a goal because we have a goal that's very large and we don't set any smaller goals to build up to the larger goals. So that being said, once your goal is set, make it a habit to work towards it. And as you keep achieving small goal after small goal, you'll get towards your larger goals and start achieving those. This leads me to my next slide on battling discouragement. Now, sometimes when you set goals that you may not meet, we feel discouraged. Here are some ways to battle discouragement. Remember your why. What motivated you in the first place? Understand and anticipate your obstacles. Prepare for the storm that will come. This will help you keep your head up. That way, in case you don't achieve your goals, you understand that if there's an obstacle in your way, that you will overcome it. This leads me to my next reason is learn from your failures. The biggest thing from this is to acknowledge. Acknowledge that you failed, and that's okay, because everybody fails. So acknowledge, learn, and move on from your failures. The next thing is forgive yourself. Like I said, it's important to acknowledge your failures and to understand that you will make mistakes, so don't beat yourself up on it. And lastly, remember past success. If success was possible then it still is now. There's a link here that goes to a website that shows more ideas on battling discouragement. Tracking your progress is my next topic. Write it down, put it on a calendar. If you can physically see that your goal is written down, then it makes you a little bit more motivated to work towards it. And if you write it down, then it kind of forces you to keep up with your goals, especially if other people see that you've written it down. Another way to track your progress is to build a schedule. If you have a schedule and you build it into your routine, then it's very easy to track your progress because you're doing these things every day. And a simple way of doing that is just marking it off your checklist. Like, hey, I did this today. And the next thing is to create reasonable deadlines. So this kind of goes back to your SMART goal. Is the deadline realistic? Is this attainable in a realistic amount of time? The next point that I'd like to bring up is to be accountability partners with a friend or peer. Now, this is usually in a workout setting that I've at least seen, but this can also work in a work setting because working with someone makes all the difference for both people involved. The last thing I'd like to bring up, which kind of will flow into our last topic, is to reward yourself and or your peers. Give people something to work towards and look forward to. Give yourself something to look forward to at the end of the week after achieving all of your daily goals each day. Being a role model is my next topic. Now, why should you be a role model? Well, if you treat people how you want to be treated, then you will get that same energy and respect back. And by doing so, this will keep people motivated if you ever ask them to do a certain task. Radiate positive energy is another big thing that I'd like to put down for be a role model because people benefit from that. A simple smile at somebody can even create positive energy and internal motivation. So if you just remember, the next time you have a meeting and it may be a little bit serious, make sure you smile because people will feed off that and not feel so anxious about it. Praise others for their hard work. Now, this may motivate others to work harder. It won't always do this, but depending on the group of people that you're working with, because everyone's different, it may motivate others to work harder, especially people that are competitive. And this doesn't necessarily mean giving out awards and stuff like that. This could simply just be acknowledging somebody for their hard work, just letting them know, hey, you're doing a great job, keep it up, and I appreciate everything that you do. Just little comments like that. It's always the small things in life that make a difference. And then lastly for this is make sure you do as you say. Don't give advice that you would not take yourself. Now, lastly, we have celebrate your small victories. This is one of my favorite topics to bring up because I feel like it's something that a lot of people don't do these days, and it's very important to do. Now, once you achieve a goal, it is important to make sure that you treat yourself. For example, let's say my goal is to not eat fast food or restaurant food for a week. What is my celebration? Go out to eat at my favorite restaurant at the end of the week. Celebrating our goals puts the finishing touches on achieving our goals. It allows us to feel refreshed for the next goal and gives us a sense of accomplishment that boosts our confidence and motivation for our future goals. It'll motivate us to want to keep achieving more and more goals that will, again, help us get all the way to our larger goals. If we're starting with smaller goals and we keep celebrating our small victories after we achieve each goal, we will achieve the larger goals in a quicker, more efficient way. Now, these are my concluding statements or some tidbits to remember. If it's anything that I want you to take from this presentation, it would be these last couple statements. Make it a goal to personally know everyone that you are working with. Treat your peers with respect and kindness. Emit positivity. Be a light in other people's lives. If you're a light in somebody else's life, chances are you influence them to be a light in someone else's. Acknowledge hard work. Write down your small goals. And again, celebrate your small victories. Thank you.